the doctor kept going with the elderly lady, and I have to smuggle the cat under my jacket out to the car. She's like, just hide the cat. He'll forget in a second.
Welcome to Unhinged and On Call, where the pets are unpredictable, the clients are intense, and the stories are wilder than a Jack Russell on espresso. I'm Chelsea, your resident veterinarian with a front row seat to the chaos.
And I'm Trish, a registered vet tech and expert in surviving the madness with a syringe in one hand and snacks in the other. We're here to share the wonderful, weird, and downright unhinged realities of life in vet med. So grab your stethoscope and maybe a drink, because let's face it, this field will break your heart, heal your soul, and then try to bite you all before lunch.
Buckle up for some chaos and a whole lot of support for the folks riding this emotional roller coaster right along with us, because these vet truck confessions are about to get wild.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We're excited for another episode with actually my friend Laney. She is a technician that actually went to school with me, so I'm really excited to talk with her. Yeah.
Okay.
So she was one of my study group best friends, and I've known her for a long time, so I'm actually really excited to talk with her. And I don't know her story, so I'm kind of excited to hear what she has, because she's done so many cool things over the years and done a lot of different work, ambulatory small animal stuff. She's done dog training, so she's a certified positive reinforcement dog trainer now. So she uses her CBT for a lot of different aspects, and she's very smart and fun, so I think she's going to be a great person to have on the show today, so we're excited to see her.
Well, I think so I did a very short stint as a companion animal mobile practitioner in Wisconsin.
Oh, it was mobile? I didn't think I realized it was mobile. Okay.
It was
goodness.
It's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Because you go in people's houses and do stuff.
Oh, my
but
goodness.
I will say, so one of the appeals, and we'll have to ask Laney about this,
Yeah.
but one of the appeals for mobile small animal is that there's a lot of reactive dogs when they go into the vet hospital.
Right.
Because they're scared, there's fear, dogs can smell everything.
Yeah.
And cats too, they get in there and they're instantly on guard and
Right.
defensive, or anxious or scared. And so everything becomes more difficult, of course, in a clinic with a scared pet or an aggressive pet.
Mm-hmm.
So the crazy thing is I'm not a good small animal practitioner, but the difference was you go into and do mobile setting, the dog is happy to see you, the cat's not stressed out because they're in their home environment.
Yeah, it's in their own environment. They're more comfortable.
So it's not nearly as efficient, but I will say some of the dogs that we couldn't see in clinic, it'd be muzzle, trazodone, gabapentin, all the things, I could see in their house with or without a muzzle,
That makes
and
sense.
do vaccines and nail trims and do the things, but they're not on guard.
Yeah.
They haven't taken a car ride, which
That's the thing.
some dogs and cats hate car rides.
Right.
So when they show up, they're already on edge. Then they smell everything. Then they're in a tiny room. They're scared.
And the owner is stressed.
Becoming stressed. Yeah. So
Everybody's stressed.
very cool, not as efficient. Some really gross stories that I share with. Maybe not today.
Okay. Oh my God.
They're very involved.
Okay.
But we did want to talk about we haven't talked much about cats. We want to talk about some cat stories that have happened.
True. Yeah.
And just, I guess, the resiliency of cats is the biggest thing. So them truly having 9 lives. My personal cat right now, Zane, came from my brother-in-law, Dr. Rowako. He has a small animal practice in Fort Collins, Coyote Bridge Vet Hospital, and they're fantastic. He, 2 summers ago, had a young family come in with a 10-week-old kitten with his arm just hanging.
Oh.
It was a family of 5, I think, and they have 3 young children, and they had a rocking chair, and the kitten was underneath the rocking chair rail.
No.
And so the kids just snapped, and they didn't know, but they snapped his humerus.
Oh.
And it was so. And they came
The
in
rocking
with
chair.
literally, I think, $200.
Oh.
So that's not enough for amputation, and really, it was actually a pretty difficult comminuted fracture, and so it needed a compression plate, and he has a lot of hardware.
I did not know it was a rocking chair.
Oh yeah,
I did not know that.
well, that's his first life.
Oh my God!
But he burned through.
I knew.
There's more since
I thought
then.
it was different. But that's so crazy. Oh my God! Poor thing.
Yes. But super sweet kitten. So we got to go up and meet him a couple days after that came in. Nick has a traveling surgeon, even though his wife, my sister-in-law, is an equine surgeon.
Yeah.
Bones and cats are slightly different. So we had his small animal orthopedic surgeon that's traveling come in and do the surgery. So we get a call, and we had just put down our cat a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I know you guys need a cat. And my oldest son had been asking for one. And he's like, how about $700? And I am a horse person, and I don't pay for cats.
Right.
There are so many cats in this world, and I love them.
Yeah.
I appreciate barn cats and the working thing.
Totally.
And then our kids love cats.
Yeah.
And I never got to have, just like you, I never got to have me as a kid because my parents said they were allergic.
Yeah, my dad totally lied.
I didn't. I didn't know that.
No, my dad is not.
My parents did that too.
Yeah, my
So
dad
don't
was like,
do that,
I'm
parents.
allergic, and my mom, I'm pretty sure my mom was like, your dad is not allergic. He just didn't want them ripping up the furniture.
Well,
And he would say that too.
litter
Like,
box. Litter boxes are gross. You know.
I like it. When I was a kid, I had that whole thing in my mind of a cat like sliding down curtains, like just like yeah, as it going down. Because my dad was so like, hey, slide down curtains, and I'm allergic on top of that, and he just didn't want one. So,
My parents did the exact same thing.
That's crazy.
I think that's so great.
my husband is actually allergic, so
Well,
otherwise
yeah,
I
no,
would
that's
have a
different.
cat now.
A
Like,
cat allergy is
Yeah.
legitimate. Like you
Right.
don't mess around with that.
right?
But yeah. So Zane became the most expensive cat we've ever purchased, and we paid the $700. That was the traveling surgeon's fee to come in, and then Nick comped basically everything else.
That's so nice. Yeah.
But we trade off services between Lauren's horses and things like
Oh
that.
yeah,
So,
that works out. That's
but we
nice.
did pay for this cat, which I think is so funny because we would not pay for. I mean, animals come to us in vet med, so it's like.
He couldn't have landed in a better
I-
spot
yeah.
than right with you.
Well, unfortunately,
Well.
we live in a neighborhood, right? And so, and our kids have friends in it, so like, you know, really close to elementary school.
Yeah.
And it's a safe
A great
neighborhood
neighborhood,
and all
yeah.
that. But last summer, he came in, even worse because I used him for a photo shoot with Betsy.
Oh yeah.
And I put him in a carrier. But he came in the house. He's indoor, outdoor. Came in the house. He has an air tag on him. Like, he just comes back. It's
Yeah.
not usually an issue. But he comes in, and I pick him up from the couch to literally put him in a cat carrier. And there's a pool of blood, like a small pool, but a little bit of blood on our couch. I was like, well, that's weird. And I look him over, and I find this wound on top of his back. And he doesn't want me to touch it. So I was like, okay, but it had stopped bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like part the fur to see it. It was small
Yeah.
enough, but it was circular.
Right.
So I load him up in
Yeah.
my car, take him to downtown Denver
To meet me.
We have this photo shoot for our products.
Yeah.
And this poor cat gets stuck in the couch of this Airbnb that we're
Well,
shooting.
he immediately like you let him out, and then
He
he
was not having
he
it.
but yeah, he had the long car ride, so then he gets out of the carrier, he immediately runs under the couch,
I feel so bad.
which we thought he was just under the couch at first, not
think we
in
did.
it. Right.
Yeah. But then it turns out later, because we need to get him out to go home, and he didn't want to have anything to do with photos that day, so I was like, that's fine, he's having a rough day.
Yeah.
I have to reach into the couch through the like tiny little hole in a
While I'm
in a
holding it
liner.
up.
Yeah, then the couch is tilted in order for us to get it. And we have to like, I have to scruff him and pull him out, put him back in the carrier.
Poor
We get
thing.
home and I tell my husband, and I'm like, he was also a vet, of course, but he's like, that looks like a bullet hole. And I literally, for a week and a half, Trish was like, that's not a bullet hole.
Right.
We live in a neighborhood. If people are shooting guns around my kids, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah. Or
Right?
or here.
Yes,
Like
anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, don't shoot a cat. I mean, it happens in rural areas, right?
yeah.
So-
yeah. BB guns
So-
and stuff. And,
So
yeah.
a week later, he gets pretty sore. He will not jump, and of course, because we have dogs, his cat food is elevated, and all of that. So he will not jump. I'm like, okay, something's actually wrong.
Yeah.
So then my brother-in-law comes over for dinner, and we ask him, and he's like, looks like a bullet hole. And my husband,
Oh my god.
like,
Told ya.
like 9 days later, so we of course we have all our imaging stuff there. So we take an X-ray right away,
Yeah.
and it's a freaking pellet gun beat like bullet.
That's so messed up.
And it's in his spine. It's not in the spinal canal somehow, but it is in the vertebral bodies.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
makes me so like I don't think I've
Fuming.
seen red so quickly
Yeah.
in anything
Yeah.
recently
Raise
in my
hell.
life.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah. Uh-huh.
so we decided I had gotten some antibiotics ordered for him, and actually we think it like cauterized as it went through the tissues or something because he never got infected. We have left it in because
Yeah.
surprisingly, like getting something like that
Yeah.
out is probably going to do more damage.
Sure.
But he had
Yeah.
bone fragments in his ileal wing, essentially. Like it was to smithereens. So, but cats are amazing, and he's come
Yeah.
back.
Oh my god. Go see.
So
He's just a applause again.
yeah, he's used up 2 of his lives.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I had one more cat story before Laney jumps on.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll hurry. But the amazing thing about cats too is, so because a lot of cats like linear, we talk about linear foreign bodies, but they like to play with yarn and they eat yarn, and then they get like a string caught underneath their tongue. Yeah. And that's sometimes the only way you find it if it's stuck. I had this cat in Wisconsin that had basically been off feed, not eating. I don't know if you call that swallowing anymore. Not eating well for like a week or something, and people brought him in. And I'm doing an oral exam, seeing if there's, you know, a string underneath the tongue or anything like that. Palpating his abdomen, and he really didn't like caudal abdomen palpation. Okay. And then I lift up his tail to do a rectal and look at everything. And there's this like, don't tell me it's a worm coming.
Oh, okay.
No, much worse. This like point on the side of it, like 3 o'clock of his rectum. Anus. And I was like, what is that? And it's really hard. And obviously you cannot touch it. Right. It's like, fuck you. Oh it is the back end of a sewing needle. The eye.
Shut up. Are you serious?
And I'm not even joking. It's attached to like 12 inches of string. And somehow that cat didn't perforate. Like, used up, I don't know how many lives.
Are you kidding me right
But the sewing needle went backwards all the way from his mouth, all the way through his stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and out the rectum. So we did like a mild sedation, because you don't want to put traction on that, but a mild sedation. I was able to get it out rectally intact.
No.
And
way.
that fucking cat went back
and
to
like eating crazy. That's crazy.
I should know how many feet, but I feel like they have like 20-something feet of intestine. Yeah. And that thing moved its way all the way down and didn't perforate like a linear foreign body would.
That is
normally.
A lucky cat.
That is
so
lucky. And I don't even think that people realized how lucky they were. That
it did. I mean, even if it like, I mean, one way or the other, a millimeter, like it matters. Like
I mean, a sewing needle is pretty long.
They're freaking huge, right?
And it went all the way through.
Oh my god! Maybe it was good that it was reversed.
Yeah, well,
it was obviously, you know, and it just kind of stayed its course like straight because it was. I don't even know. That's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Miracles do happen.
Wow.
Okay. So cats, if you're gonna eat a sewing needle, eat it backwards.
Yeah. Please. That's your best chance of survival.
Right way.
Oh my god.
Don't eat sewing needles. Okay. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. Well, Lady's up next, so thanks, guys, and we'll talk to her soon.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at VetCS, your go-to for veterinarian-developed CBD and wellness products for pets and horses. Founded by veterinary professionals, VetCS offers science-backed formulas made with premium hemp extracts to support calm behavior, joint health, and overall wellness, whether you're in the clinic or out at the barn. VetCS is all about helping animals live better naturally. Want to see what they're all about? Head over to vetcs.com to explore their full line of CBD products.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Laney. We're really excited to have you. If you want to just give everybody just a little brief overview of your background in vet med.
Sure. My name's Laney Barlow. I actually graduated vet tech school with Trish at Bel Ray. And I went on to get my CBT in Colorado, which is now an RBT. I'm still licensed there. And then I got my CBT in Massachusetts. So I'm an RBT CBT. And then I'm a certified professional dog trainer as well. I own a concierge pet training business in Gloucester, Mass. On a 26-acre property with a yurt being our home. And I just love it. So, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I also worked in anesthesia and surgery for most of my career. And then I started a house call practice, door-to-door primary care, acupuncture, integrative medicine. And that's where my stories will be from today.
Very cool. Good. That's awesome. Do you miss anesthesia? You were so good at it.
Oh, no, not at all. I actually had like a weird trauma response. Like, one day I got out of the OR and went and worked in internal medicine. An internal medicine doctor was nice to me and it changed my whole life. I was like,
no way.
I don't have to be treated like this. And I completely changed my career after that day.
Oh, wow.
I only worked in surgery, right out of tech school, right into surgery. And
I know.
Yeah. So
wow.
I didn't.
And you were such a badass, so good at it. I can't imagine someone would be
like
Well,
rude to you.
I mean,
you
that's
know,
just surgeons.
Feel.
You know, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
surgeons.
Yeah.
They throw shit and they, yeah,
yeah.
they throw
They
shit.
like to-
Nothing's ever good enough until I leave, and then they're like, "Please come back. We love you."
yeah, we need you.
Yeah.
How quickly can you get my next one down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's
Yeah,
like
oh my
how I
God.
changed my trajectory in life. I was like, you know what?
Aw.
Like, I want to wander around in the sunshine with dogs.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I do now.
Oh,
Heck
that's
yeah.
so fun.
Yeah. Yes.
You got to make it happen for yourself, like what you want to see, right? And
Yeah.
just
I get to
tailor it to your own life.
Yeah, I get to use all my skills still. I do nail trims. I help clients get through specialty care. Like I help them navigate the system. And then I provide like on-call support for them if they have questions that their doctor's not answering or they can't answer. And then I also help them like decide whether or not to go to the hospital. So I have like an on-call
Yeah.
that I do, and I'll help triage them because that's just not a service that's readily available to owners. Is like getting
Right.
real answers like, oh yeah, your
Mhm.
dog should go, or that can wait until 4 a.m. when there's no traffic to get to the ER.
No kidding.
That's actually a huge piece that's missing. So
Yeah.
you can't do remote, right? It's just en masse.
It's just en masse. I mean, I think any vet tech can answer a question, right? There's no laws around this, you know?
Right. That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be VPCR
Right.
as a tech, or does it?
I don't think so. There's no
Yeah.
legislation that works in this.
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
Well, good for you. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah. And mostly what I'm doing is just helping them streamline the process, right? It's like, okay, your dog had diarrhea once last night. Maybe that's concerning, but do not go to the ER at shift change at 7 a.m. Get up earlier and go at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it'll save you 7 hours of waiting.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
huge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
just sort of helping them navigate things. And then
Yeah.
pairing that with the CPD TKA, the training, really helps round out like the whole picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's so awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
And so you said some of the stories today come from your time going to people's houses, right? Ambulatory stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we had a Toyota 4Runner and like a big thing in the back. We would go to people's houses and do vaccines, sometimes acupuncture, sometimes laser therapy, just depended on the day. And this one particular day, we get a call from an elderly couple, and they're just so sweet. This is like from a landline kind of call, and we pull up to the house, and this piece is important. They had a lot of lawn ornaments, like gnomes and like little sunshines and things like that, like an excessive amount.
Okay.
So we get in the house and we're in the bedroom. As usual, the little old lady brings us into the bedroom. She wants to euthanize the cat. It is time, very much time. So we're talking to her and we give, the first pre-med injection. And then Gramps comes walking in. And he looks at us and he goes, "You're going to save the kitty's life, right?" And we're like, we've already telosolved the cat. Like, it's not coming back. Like, she's already like lateral, like, And we're like, and we look at the wife. She's like,
No.
wait to tell him. So then I go into like distracting mode and I'm like, "Oh, show me your house, blah, blah, blah." And so he starts taking me around and pointing out all of his DNR notices on the walls, which is just not something.
On the wall?
Yeah, he had like DNR paperwork on all of his walls. And he goes, it's just about the end for me, sweetheart. And then, yeah.
Like just taped to the wall?
Yeah.
Like just
Like an emergency responder. Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't.
You wouldn't have to dig for it.
So he then like gets distracted again and starts asking about the cat, if we're going to save it. And I'm like, I don't lie. So I'm just like, like looking, I look to the doctor and she swaps out with me, distracting him. The cat is now deceased. The doctor kept going with the elderly lady, and I have to smuggle the cat under my jacket out to the car.
Oh no.
That's what the lady told me to do. She's like, "Just hide the cat. He'll forget in a second." Because he's very like demented or something. So the cat's like in my jacket, and I go to put him.
And cat, like probably like eliminating its bladder.
Leaking. I think I had set up some potty pads under him, but So I get him into the back of the truck.
Cat pee. No, dead cat pee.
Not great.
Oh,
This was
baby.
not great. So I put him in the back of the truck. Doctor's still distracting the elderly man. He comes outside. I've got the cat hidden, but like you could definitely figure out what he was if you were starting to fill the truck with your lawn ornaments. He starts first, he brings us a half empty like Diet Coke 2-liter, and he's like, "This is for you, dear, for saving the cat." And we're like,
A present? It was a present to
present?
you?
Yeah, it was a present. Then he starts to hand me lawn ornaments, like a gnome, like big ones. And there's only 2 places to put them now that the cat's in the back of the truck. It was a relatively small truck. So I like start putting him in the cab of the truck because like he is not taking no for an answer. Like this is
So you're like flamingos and gnomes and
loading the back of the truck up. He just keeps coming. The doctor and I are just both like will not stop. And then he's like, "Well, you could fit one back here." And I was like, "No, no, no." No. Sorry, that's my puppy.
don't go back there.
Oh my God.
So it
No.
no. It's like I'm just realizing he doesn't know about FaceTime.
Yeah, the
Oh,
part,
yeah,
par
well,
for the
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
They love FaceTime.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. A half 2-liter in
No,
your
the
jacket.
jacket was
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God.
like that's dedication.
Yeah.
Or peeing when you're like shoving them in there.
Oh my God.
Just this once, I'm gonna break the rules.
I wonder it just
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Puppy dog.
So cute. You like how I waved to him?
I can totally see.
Yes, it's so cute.
I've never had a dog
Oh,
that's aware of screens. She's aware of screens. So
Good.
anyways, so ashes come back, right? We hand delivered all the ashes. And
Oh.
this is again another like, oh boy, here we go. So we like drive up to the house, like run up to the door, don't knock. Like they're always home.
Yeah, no knocking. Like
And-
leave.
Dropped off the
leave.
ashes, and we thought we were done. We thought we were scot-free done. Like we're done. We get another call like a week later. And she's like, "Oh dear, the other cat doesn't seem well." I'm like, "You want another cat?"
No.
I didn't see
There's
there's
another
cat. So this time we go in, kind of the same process. We're not telling the old guy anything. And they're like, "Oh, the cat's under the chair." The cat is in rigor mortis. Like one of those fake cats that you buy at a store where they're like,
Yeah.
it's just like that.
Flat on the bottom.
That's what I thought you were
Yes.
going to say about the first cat. Like the first time. I thought you were going to be like, it was already
Yeah.
dead.
But I also had
Yeah.
to sneak this cat out of the house under my jacket.
Oh my God. He couldn't even.
You know, like he was like,
Like, how
Trish
safe.
was worried.
Like, how
How
stinky.
long? How long
How
had it been there?
stinky.
the cat did not smell.
It didn't.
Oh, that's even worse.
So it had been there so long.
Yeah,
That's a
long time. So I think the deal was like the little old lady gave us no information to go on. Just like we're just catching vibes, you know. And I think the thing was like he would be like really upset or like it might trigger an episode. Because now that I've worked with people who have dementia now, and I get it. Like sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to keep moving, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep them unaware for the most part. And that's probably in their own best interest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise he could probably spiral for like days or you know what I mean.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
That was probably ended up being my favorite because it was just so ridiculous and like nobody was mean, like nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
kind of like
It's
you're
a
just like,
circumstance.
Yeah.
You can't really.
Yeah.
You just have to help.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing else you can do.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Can I tell one quick story?
Please
along these
do.
lines? So I had a stint of doing companion animal mobile practice in Wisconsin. And we had a 10 doctor practice. So it was like the, I don't know, the redheaded stepchild kind of thing. Like is I would get sent out for things that like people couldn't bring them in. So this sweet old lady, this is what jogged my memory. Sweet old lady was like stuck in her house. Basically, it was a ranch. She couldn't come down the stairs with me, but her Cocker Spaniel of like 18 or something that we had on record because she was a client had vomiting and diarrhea for like 5 days. And so this thing is already comatose, like downstairs. She can't get up and down the stairs and this thing has just been down there. So there's just vomit and diarrhea everywhere. And luckily she knows it's the end. So we euthanize the animal. We start to bring him upstairs. We're going to get him cremated for her. We start talking through all the things. And she says, my husband's on a work trip, which he had to have been in his 80s. Like, I don't know where he was. She goes, oh, you can't take the dog. He's got to say goodbye. And I was like, no, we're taking the dog. It'll be at the clinic. If he needs to come by, and, like, it has to go in the freezer. If he needs to come by and say bye before we cremate, like, have him come to clinic. She wouldn't let me take the dog. She made me leave it downstairs, and it was like a Monday, and he wasn't going to be back till a Thursday. And I literally fought as much as I felt comfortable with. And I was like, ma'am, you don't want him in your house. Like, he's going to start decomposing.
It's a health hazard.
Yeah. And she's like, it's okay. Just leave him down there. The basement's a little cooler. It was like 70 degrees.
A little cooler.
And I ended up just conceding. I was like, okay, I guess I can't force you. Well, yeah.
Yeah. What else are you going to do if they're that adamant about it? Like,
but I just I tried to advise her so many times that she couldn't keep it in the house. And she was like 100%. And she was of sound mind, I think. I don't know. But she wouldn't let me take it. So I cannot imagine
like that. Yeah, a lot.
Smell.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we'd have people want to like dig graves. And you advise against it, but at a certain point, what are you gonna do? So we'd have to
what are you gonna do? It's not up to us.
We euthanized and then like had to drop the dog in the grave. It was deep for them. Yeah. We got those those new bags they have for euthanasia that zip up and have handles.
That's fancy. No,
they're amazing. No. Yeah, they have handles so you can like walk out of someone's house.
That's nice.
And I got
that was like what a smart idea. Yeah. Well, especially large dogs because you're like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And you need two people and all that.
Okay. Yes. I got those after the grave digging one because I had to like load the dog down. And I was like, well, if I had a handle, this would be way easier. And I found them. I forget what they're called. They're great. It's a great company too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's look them up.
It's genius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sad that handles help.
Then you're not putting the dogs in a trash bag, which you're not going to do on site.
It doesn't look good. No.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was
I'm sorry that you had to smuggle a dead cat under your clothes into the trunk of a car.
Twice. I mean, one time is enough for a lifetime. One time.
But
twice?
The first one, especially being a freshie.
I also
can't handle cat.
I also had a cat that was I don't know what it is about cat people, but like the cat is always in the bedroom. Like, why can't the cat be in a bathroom? Or or one of your other, we're in Gloucester, so mostly affluent people.
Yeah. Living room. Let's lay down some blanket, like let's put some stuff down.
Yeah.
Paper, tarp.
Any other room but the bedroom, it's always in
it is.
And so, it's like, oh, Sadie's in the bedroom. And I was like, oh, goody, here we go again. And
I feel so comfortable in your bedroom.
Yeah, obviously Sadie's under the bed like usual. So like I have to like army crawl into these people's bed and the cat's like trying to kill me immediately. They all are. That's why they're house call. They're mean.
Yeah.
And
they're mean.
I go for like the scruff and miss. And once you do the scruff and miss under a bed, you're screwed. One shot. And that's if the owner doesn't interrupt you or like start, trying to manage the situation. So the cat goes from under the bed. Yeah. Goes from under the bed to on top of what I can't even imagine how expensive this painting was. He was on the ledge of the painting, walking or like hissing from the ledge of this. I mean, the house is beautiful, right? It's on the ocean. Like it can't be a Marshall's painting,
right. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna knock this painting off the wall. And I had like, then the owner was screaming because she's like, the cat's on the painting. He's not gonna be able to get down. Let him, like she was worried about the cat being up there, which I'm sure it would have been fine.
The cat would be fine.
Yeah. So I just like did one of these like, and got the cat, and it was fine. And I was like, then I just had
this painting didn't fall.
It did not fall.
Oh my God, still
a ninja.
I have like this. Also, I have like tennis elbows, so my elbow will lock like this, and my fingers won't come undone. So it's like kind of a amazing cat skill. I'm just like, so somebody has to like, when that happens, you have to like hit my elbow and then I can unlock.
Oh my God. It's your cat elbow. That's so awesome.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really like. I'm not a cat person, but I think you can
Right.
tell. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It wasn't handy though. But you got the skills to
Yeah.
deal with them.
Yeah.
So you sort of are in a different way.
Yeah.
Way, yes, yeah.
Oh
Then
my
we had
God,
another
dude.
cat jump off of the ceiling rafters and down onto like a big vase that shattered all over the living room. I got our insurance like increased by like tenfold after the painting. So I was
Oh
I
my
was gonna
God,
say,
yeah.
I could see some people getting real mad, even though you're in their house with their own animal. I could see them being like, "That painting was $20,000. I'm going to charge you for that."
Seriously,
Yeah.
like just get all weird about
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And
we never had that experience, and part of it's just like communication. It's like, okay, like your cat is under your bed. I'm going to
Yeah.
crawl under
Yeah.
there. Whatever may happen is sort of on you. Like, you know,
yeah,
you also
yeah.
you also have the option to catch your cat, put it in a carrier, and take it to a vet. You know,
Yeah, right.
like,
Oh my God.
yeah, yeah. The cats were like the most ridiculous ones, and then we had the only real wild dog one was these two newbies. One of them just died. Her name's Shadow. She's still my client, and
Oh.
I was drawing blood on her sister in the backyard, as we always did, direct sunlight. Don't know why, just where she landed. And her sister was really skittish, and I think I was like restraining her with like a leg over her neck because she was on her side and doing a saphenous draw. And I told her like lovely little owner, this woman is a doll. She's like 100 pounds and has these two giant newbies who just like whip her all over the house. And
Yeah,
She can
bet.
ride them.
I bet.
yeah. I was like, can you put Shadow in the house just so she doesn't, you know, like she'd come up to you and be like, you know, while I'm
Yeah.
drawing that.
Yeah.
And so she put Shadow in the house, forgetting that Shadow opens doors. So as soon as I get a flash on Sky, which was super hard because I had to convince her, and you know, like she's a nervous newfie.
Okay.
Shadow busts out of the house, just slides the door open, and comes and hits me right in the eyeball, like with her snoot, and I had a concussion. Like,
Nuh-uh.
snooted me so hard in the eyeball while I was drawing blood that
Oh my
I
God.
like had a concussion.
Oh my
That's
God.
like getting punched in the face.
That is a punch.
You're
Did
like,
you get a black eye?
I didn't know. No black eye.
Weird.
But I was like concussed. Yeah.
What?
And then she knocked over the vet. Just like in one fell swoop, like bopped me in the eye, knocked over the vet, down.
Like taking you guys out.
I feel like that's something that would like happen to us.
Yeah. So you're trying to focus and you're not paying attention to like an
Oh my
incoming
God.
dog.
We canceled all of our appointments that afternoon and went and got ice cream. We were like, that's it.
Yeah, this is done.
We're done. That
We
same
need
house,
to eat our feelings and be done for the day.
that same house, she had like all of these like beautiful fine art everywhere on little pedestals. Like it'll be like a mask from Africa, and the newbies would just walk by and they would just like wiggle and never fall down. Like it's beautiful things in her house.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. They probably learned how to navigate around that stuff living there. Like they're just like, you know, pretty good at not knocking
Maybe.
things over. Maybe.
We always just go, yeah,
but-
they're pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, but they're bowling balls, both of them, you know?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are. Yeah,
yeah.
just as a brief.
Bowls and china shops.
I had to take her dog one time because the dog broke her leg. Shadow, the same one that gave me the black eye.
Okay.
Her husband died. Shadow was stressed, tripped her. She broke her leg, and then Shadow had antibiotic resistant UTI.
Oh,
And
great.
I forget what the drug is called because I'm out of that realm, but you're not supposed to touch it with your hands. Otherwise you can get really sick from it.
The red one?
Huh?
Is it red?
I forget what chloramphenicol.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we give
Yeah.
that to mares. And not
Yeah, so
foals and not mares. Yeah.
So I'm like looking at
Wow.
this tiny little waif of a woman whose husband just died, and I'm like, I'm taking her home with me. Like it's gotta happen. You can't be like giving chloramphenicol with a broken leg to a dog that's like 3
No.
size. So
No.
I load up Shadow. She is like smells horrible in my car, and her son happens to be there, and he goes, you know, if my mom saw a blob, a gooey blob flying from space, she would invite it in her bed and say, "Go back and get me another one." Like her dogs were just gross and slimy, and Peggy like
Oh,
just loved them. Just the
Oh my God.
the
He's like, please don't bring the dog back.
yeah.
I mean, she smelled like you wouldn't believe, and nobody will groom Nookies around here, so that's really not on her. I ended up having to shave the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
I shaved the whole dog. It took me like 6 hours and horse clippers.
Dude.
That is a concierge service, right?
Yeah.
There. If you like
For sure.
could envision anything,
Oh,
you
I
just do it all.
Yeah.
had to put down
Goodness.
his tarp and to collect
bet.
hair, and like I was,
Oh.
it was one of the. I used to clip horses, and it was harder, much harder than that.
Oh yeah, to do yeah,
Yeah.
it would be hard.
No.
Yeah.
Newfie coats don't shave well, but we didn't have a choice. She was like getting big. She was getting like
Oh.
infections on her skin, and
Oh my God.
That is insane.
Newfies can be a real mess. Like even
Yeah,
with,
they are
You
a
had
real
good
mess, yeah.
experience with Georgia, your old dog,
Oh
right?
yeah. She didn't have
Yeah.
skin conditions, luckily, but I still.
No,
I
she
can't-
was so good.
huh?
Except for when she jumped out the window that day. I remember you were like, Georgia, what did she do? She jumped out your window. She got out. I remember you calling me, being like, Georgia escaped and jumped out my window.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
Georgia was how I got into dog training because
Yeah.
and it's how I've developed a couple of different opinions about rescues and stuff like that. I was 21. This rescue, I was looking for a dog. This rescue was like, "You're 21. You don't own your house. You should take this
Yeah.
130-pound dog-reactive Anatolian Shepherd." Like I didn't even have a fence.
Anatoly.
Yeah. So I was like not willing to. Like, what were they thinking? Like,
Yes. Well, they saw you, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, she can figure it out.
and then they ghosted
Wow.
me. I never heard from them again because she was a foster forever. I never officially adopted her.
Wow.
Yeah, anybody can be a rescue.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Anybody.
But
can.
she was an escape artist. Like she could get out.
The first night
She would get out your window.
The first night she was with me, she opened a door, ghosted me for like 2 days. I lived in the mountains, and I would just see her like circling my house.
This was in Netherlands?
Yeah.
Were in Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I lived like off a dirt road in Netherlands, so
Yeah.
it was actually like I wouldn't have been able to keep her if I hadn't had that environment.
Yeah.
And then I started learning. She needed a chain that was heavy enough to tow a truck, so she wouldn't break it. And then she also needed a physical barrier, like a fence, but she would rip down the fence with her teeth, so you had to do a chain as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we had to weld bars on the back of our truck windows because she would like break through them.
Go through the window
Break
in your truck.
She broke 8 windows. 8.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
The dog and never got hurt?
Now
doing
she
that?
had like one mild paw laceration one time. She would just
How?
through them.
Those are really strong. How did she
Yes.
break windows?
She likes
Like I'm more than 130 pounds. I can't like
Break a window. Yeah.
she liked single pane. That was her preference.
what? I know this one's weak. I can get this.
Yeah.
Well,
I could do that.
And like 130 pounds of reactive dog force is an
Yeah.
unbelievable amount of force.
8 window. That is so expensive.
Yeah. Well, I can replace
8
windows now. You know, like
You learned how.
I did,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I was too
They did.
old for that. And then so the worst one she ever did to me was she's in her yard on her chain with the fence up, and I'm gardening in the backyard. Netherland has spotty service. I'm just thinking my dog's in the front yard, like as usual, laying down in the sun. She was a doll when she wasn't in like kill mode.
Yeah.
Somebody drove by with a dog with their head out the window barking, which was like a very dangerous trigger for her. She breaks her chain, goes through the fence, chases the dog down the street with the chain dangling off of her, all the way to that highway that goes through Ned to Ward.
Yep.
And she's on a cliffside, like I say cliff, but like a scramble, like and she's barking at traffic because she loves people. So now she's barking at traffic with a chain dangling off of her. Someone calls the police, and then I start getting phone calls on my phone, and like multiple. And I was like, oh no. And it was like spotty service. And they're like, oh, hi, we're going to bring a lift truck from Boulder to get your dog down from this cliff. And I was like, no, you're not. And so I drive down there, and there's now a lady stuck up there with her. A lady climbed the cliff because she thought she was scared. And then Georgia was just sitting there, like, she's sitting there like, oh, I love attention, like getting pats, and like she's not going anywhere. So I scrambled up the hillside and like just took her chain and walked up to the top and then walked back down and had to belay the lady down.
Oh no!
What?
They belayed
dog
down, and then she goes, "You owe me a 6-pack of beer." I was like, "Do I?"
You're the one that went up there.
You owe me a 6-pack of beer.
Like, I think you were the problem, and they didn't give me any. They didn't give me any citations or anything because it was like very obvious that I was trying to contain this dog.
Yeah,
you know, the chain.
Yeah, you had multiple layers.
That lady is like kind of the type of person that's like, well, I saw a moose. I thought I should pet it. You know,
like Georgia, Georgia barking probably was really scary to somebody like that. So I don't know why.
I would be surprised that someone would go up to her.
Yeah,
on a hillside.
I just remember Georgia. She's just such a legend. Like every time I talk to you, be like, well, you know, Georgia broke out of this window, and then when I don't know how she passed away, but I know you made stickers of her, and you sent me one. She's on my refrigerator.
Oh,
like I still have the Georgia head.
She is a
it's
legend.
a howling Georgia head, like sticker. And lady texts me. She's like, "Would you like a Georgia head?" She passed
away from herniating a disc. We bought a house in Gloucester for her. I was like, okay, if we're moving to Massachusetts, like I need somewhere in the woods where I can fence, like significant fencing. Put up my significant fencing. Beautiful. Loved it. She starts ripping it. Like if I left her unattended in the backyard for even a minute, like get the shower. And she's like doing something. But she left me outside. And like, that was the whole point, right? It's like, I want her to be happy.
Yeah.
The neighbor had a visitor over who had a dog in their car barking at her as they're driving down the road next to our fence. And she went to grab the fence with her teeth and pull at it, and the force herniated a disc. So I tried to nurse her for a couple of days, but I mean, at that point, like she had like probably arthritis in the other 3 legs, and she wasn't bearing weight on her right leg, and it was just time.
Okay.
Yeah. But she died a legend, as she.
God, I would have loved to meet her.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She was super sweet too. It was just other dogs. They're bred to kill wolves.
It's just dogs. Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're supposed to do.
That's what they are. Yeah. They're protective.
I had her to the point where like she would walk in a heel. She was lovely, like a great dog, but like surprise dogs, like people with off leash dogs, like it was dangerous. I'd have to, like a
game over.
Yeah. Game over.
Well, yeah. People need to not do that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Rest in peace, Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia.
We're a warrior. I can't believe I kept her. Like, I can't believe I managed to keep her my whole 20s the whole time.
You did. Yeah,
That's
did.
actually a very impressive feat. For,
Yeah.
Like finding space and land and stuff at that age.
I think
like
I think I stayed married because of her. Like neither one of us could do it alone.
Yeah. Georgia, the glue. Who would have thought?
Yeah, the past. We were like, okay, this can be over now.
Yeah. It's all done now.
now that the dog's gone, you're gone.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for all the welding skills and the fence work.
Yeah, seriously. You picked up some trades along the way.
Yeah.
Install windows.
I can't believe you could do windows.
Yeah. And screens.
Oh my God.
Screens as well.
And screens.
And
I did
screens.
learn, I had a Weimaraner that was super destructive, and she would go through screens and doors. So I just, honestly, I picked up those things, but not windows. She never went through a window.
Yeah, it's not that common. The longer I'm training, I'm like, am I going to come across a Georgia anywhere?
I don't know.
No. Like
sounds pretty unique.
There's nobody like.
Luckily. Can you imagine if like that was a normal thing and dogs would bust through windows? Like that'd be bad.
Like more of a common occurrence, right?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have one.
Yeah, right? Like I'm always like, oh, this could be a hard one. And I'm like, there's nobody like Georgia.
You got nothing on her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you're amazing. And thank you so much for sharing all of those stories with us.
Yeah.
You're the best.
So
And
fun.
we appreciate you coming to talk to us.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I appreciate
Okay.
you having me.
Thanks,
Cool.
Laney.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Let me just stop that.
Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe so you get all the latest updates. Unhinged and On Call isn't just a podcast. It's a lifeline for every veterinary professional barely holding it together with vet wrap and caffeine. Somewhere out there, another tech, vet or assistant, is deep in the same chaos, dodging poop, managing meltdowns, and wondering if they're the only one unraveling. You're not. Whether you're laughing, crying, or rage cleaning your truck, you've got a whole tribe behind you. You're unhinged, but never alone.